Second bulker grounds off Sweden in just a week. This is from the Maritime Executive, and it was published on June the 1st, 2025. Swedish authorities are trying to understand why a second bulker grounded in the Orston area in less than a week. The incident on Saturday, May the 31st, was just 40 miles to the north of where the bulker went aground on Sunday, May the 25th, but so far there are few similarities between the two incidents. The bulker flagged in Panama, Mirska 35,829 DWT, was southbound in the shipping channel coming from Spain on her way to Russia. According to Swedish media reports, the Swedish Maritime Administration Traffic Center, or VTS, spotted that the ship was outside of the shipping lane and warned the ship at around 10 a.m. Saturday morning. The crew either ignored the warning or did not have time to respond and change course. The vessel, which was traveling with fuel and ballast, however, had a draft of 7 meters, and it ran aground in an area with only 3 meters of water depth. The rescue authority dispatched 2 vessels to investigate, and the Swedish Maritime Administration and Coast Guard both responded. It was determined that none of the 24 crew on board had been injured, and there was no apparent damage or oil leaking from the ship. The Coast Guard was assigned authority, while the others were standing by in case they needed to become involved. The Coast Guard reported it conducted sobriety checks and found no suspicion of drunkenness among the crew. They were still interviewing the crew to understand what caused the grounding. It reported on Sunday that it had initiated a preliminary investigation regarding the lack of good seamanship in connection with the grounding. The investigation has now been handed over to the Swedish Protection Authority. Divers went down on Saturday evening, and they reported no visual damage, but said most of the hull, which measures 180 meters or 590 feet, is in a sandy bottom. The Coast Guard reports the vessel has approximately 938,000 liters of oil and lubricants in its tanks. The authorities are remaining on the scene, but said as long as the vessel remains stable, the responsibility rests with the ship owner, a company based in Dubai. They will need to develop a salvage plan and submit for approval. One similarity between the two groundings is that both vessels have a history of deficiencies reported during port state inspections. This ship had 23 deficiencies during the September 2024 inspection in a British port. UK authorities detained the ship for 18 days after identifying structural issues, fire safety problems, and crew training issues. The ship, however, had a clean inspection in May in Spain.